How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Pixelated Thoughts. Today we only got Chibi and Brad on. Josh is taking a holiday. It's fine.
As
So
he
Hates us.
deserves.
he hates Brad mostly.
He hates Brad.
So it's kind of an impromptu podcast. We asked a couple people in Chibi's chat to give us ideas, and two that came up were subscription programs, which is something I want to talk about. So we did have I think me and Brad and Jack talked about it before, like early on, but this is a good thing to re-talk about, seeing how Starfield's coming out, I think next week, right, Brad? I think Starfield releases
The 5th,
the
yeah.
5th, yeah.
Next week. Yeah.
And then we're also talking about like Twitch drops for games. Someone else brought up something about Minecraft. I'm sorry, whoever that was. We're not gonna talk about.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about Minecraft, man. I'm sorry, but
Good.
we should talk about like
That's why I showed up.
I think I'm gonna reframe with the phrasing. Are subscription programs such as Xbox Game Pass cost effective for the future of gaming? I mean, cost effective as into what? Like for the community, for the person?
I was gonna say,
Absolutely.
I'm assuming they made like for the person, like in the long run type
Yeah.
of thing.
I think like the way I think we viewed Game Pass, like subscription services in the past, like me and Brad were just like, they're really good if you are. I would say it's more like, I think you have to be more than a casual gamer to have
Mm-hmm.
some of these subscription services, because if you don't, there's no real reason, right? If you're casual, you're probably just
Yeah.
going to play the games you want to play when you want to. But I think for people who are content creators, hardcore gamers, stuff like that, I think subscription services are like perfect, because with Game Pass and even with PlayStation Plus, you get access to games that more than likely you might not ever think about. Like Moving Out 2 just came out. It's on PlayStation Plus, and I think it's on Game Pass also. I'm not sure. Sea of Stars just came out, which is both on PlayStation Plus and Game Pass, new independent RPG title. You're gonna get access to like Xbox's entire like catalog of games, PlayStation's catalog of games. I don't think Nintendo really does anything outside of like the fucking the emulators, right, Brad? I think you got like the older Nintendo titles.
Yeah, they rotate like 30 games at a time.
Yeah,
I think Nintendo is probably the worst to do it.
they're not gonna ever change. But I think like the way it looks now, like it's cost effective for, I would say more of the hardcore, or like when you play it more often. Now, in terms of like quality of product, sometimes you're gonna get independent titles that are really bad. Like what was the game? It was like it was a D&D game that came out. It was like this co-op action hacks and slash game that was fucking terrible. And there was like
Oh, it was Baldur's Gate.
no,
Dark Alliance. No, it was Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance.
no, it wasn't Dark Alliance, bro. It was
Yeah.
no. It was the game actually came out last year, and so it was like a third person hack and slash game. It wasn't Dark Alliance though. If it
He
was,
said-
then I'm fucking
Yeah.
man, I'm tripping. But
Yeah, because I was super disappointed that they announced, because they're supposed to be redoing the old ones, right? They're supposed to be remastering the old ones, but they announced a new one, and it's that like weird third person.
well,
Baldur's Gate.
like the game came out, Chibi, and it was probably like the worst experience. And so a lot of content creators and people on social media were like, "What's the fucking point in Game Pass if you're not going to curate your stuff?"
if you're gonna put out like shitty stuff.
But sometimes, if I'm a developer, like I would rather take that payout from Microsoft and have those royalties, or from Sony or whatever, rather than, me just putting it out on a storefront to die,
Yeah.
So you might get access to a new game, new title you've never seen before. I mean, I think there's obvious downsides to it and stuff. Like before, Game Pass used to be, they used to do like a $1 trial, right? For like 3 months.
I think that's what I did originally.
But Xbox pulled it. So they actually had it back up, but they just pulled it because Starfield's coming out. Which I think is it's kind of a shady fucking move, but I understand why they're doing it, right? But there's also some benefits, because what they're doing now is that they're integrating like the ultimate editions at like a 20, like, you normally pay $60 for a game, $70 for a game, an additional $30s for the ultimate edition. And now you can get it on Game Pass, and if you pay $35, you can get the early access, the ultimate edition, which has a ton of benefits. You get to play the game, I think August 31st. I think it's August. It's like 5 days prior. So you get to play it 5 days prior, and then you have like a bevy of like benefits and stuff like that for the game. So, I mean, I could see why, like, because the way it looks right now is that we're already there. Like, you're gonna see a lot of like the subscription services try to like to ramp up activity. Like Microsoft, I think they're in the process of acquiring or finalizing the deal for Activision Blizzard, right? So they're gonna have a ton more content on there. So I mean, it's just if you're a hardcore gamer and this is what you do, you're a content creator like Chibi, there's no reason for you not to have Game Pass, right? Because it's a lot cheaper than you shelling out $70 for a game.
Yeah.
You know?
I actually, I'm gonna argue against that point.
Yes.
It does. I agree that obviously hardcore gamers, right?
Chibi,
Just
you can
'cause you
eat
get,
if you want.
you just, yeah, you do get access to obviously more games for more content. But even in for less hardcore gamers, very casual gamers, right? Someone who is not willing to spend really any money, outside of maybe Call of Duty or something like your sports game or your racing
Yeah.
game or your Call of Duty game, right? I think it gives casual players much more option, right? Because if you're a hardcore gamer and like me with Square Enix, right? I'm gonna buy all of the Square Enix games, right? Like that's like I'm going to support that company independently outside of my normal means, right? Well, a casual player might go, well, I don't know about it, so I'm not going to drop full price or maybe even half price on that. So I think it actually allows casual players to experience more.
Right.
Maybe even find like a genre of games that they didn't know even existed, or they might find something that they like because they weren't going to buy something, but they just had access to it now.
Yeah,
So
essentially
I
a
think
lot of independent games too. Yeah.
right, and I think it's always been a value for the customer, obviously.
Hmm.
I mean, I think the most expensive one. I'm trying to remember how much it was for the highest new PlayStation. They restructured the PlayStation 1 and they have like the Ultimate
Oh,
or Premium or whatever.
I think it's like as much as I think it's like 15 to $20 a month or something like that.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah, but
I
you
mean,
get
I
access
have
to the
both.
entire
Yeah.
catalog of like whatever PlayStation's
Right.
curating. And then they're like
Right.
PlayStation's been really aggressive, especially because they know that, they're lagging behind Game Pass. But they've been really aggressive in like promoting PS5 titles and stuff like that. Even though they're obviously I would still posture to say like if I have a very popular PS5 title, I'm still making more money like selling that instead of adding it to PlayStation Plus, that subscription model. But I want you to play our older titles. Like I want you to play Ratchet and Clank, right? I want you to play the like if I think Ghost of Tsushima's on there too. I want you to play those games.
Oh.
That type
Right.
of stuff. With Xbox, you get like they're doing like day one type stuff. So like I don't know if you could accurately. I mean, Microsoft's never really in any of their financial meetings or deep or like quarterly meetings or business reviews. They've actually never put out accurate like data of like how it's affecting sales or like how does having Game Pass negatively affect sales, which I assume it does impact it, but you could also see into like sustainability in terms of like subscriber base because my favorite number that gets thrown out is like when you see a game they're like you have 105 million players. It's like no the fuck you don't. You have people who bought the game, but your community is probably far lower than that. It's probably not
Yeah,
even
like there's not that many people active.
there's no way there's not even like 10% fucking playing the game, right? Like what it's like Fortnite's like what 300 million downloads, probably more than that. You know, like Rockstar is like the only developer I've ever seen who's like touting how much fucking GTA 6 sold. like we've sold 500 million copies. We've made like $3 to $4 billion off that game. So I think it's good for the consumer. I agree with Brad. I really think that it really helps open people's eyes to like indie games because obviously with the cost of development going up, right? AAA games are starting to cost like $200 to $500 million to develop. And it's taking anywhere between 3 to 6 years to come out. Like Final Fantasy 16 took how long, Brandon? It was
Like
what?
7 years.
Like
or
7 years,
shit.
right? Yeah. So you're seeing
know
these
that.
increased development times, right? So to kind of fill in the gaps, you're seeing a lot of independent titles, and generally a lot of independent titles are the most creative, and it's really nice to see them make their way to Game Pass, PlayStation Plus, so that you can play them. Because I think you're gonna find some like real gems. Like Hades was like I think Hades was on Game Pass. I think it is. But
I know a lot of people like that one.
that game is fucking fantastic.
Mhm.
So it's cost effective for the consumer, for the independent developer. I think it also is because Xbox will market your game. Like the moment you open up Xbox Game Pass, will show recently added, that type of stuff. They'll actually show, let's say if there's a big indie title that's upcoming, they'll actually promote the fuck out of that on their storefront. Sony does the same stuff. You kind of wish Nintendo had, dipped their toes into it, but because of the Switch and how Nintendo is very much like an internal first party heavy studio or development, like they don't they're like, indie people, fuck that, man. We got our own we got like 26 of them. We got IPs up, like we don't even use half of them, that type of stuff. But yeah, it's interesting because I think I like me and Brad have always riffed about this. We love Game Pass. Like the value is fantastic. You can find games on there right now that you probably never heard of that have come out 4 or 5 years ago. Like Firewatch was just added to Game Pass. It's a great independent, like narrative game. It's fantastic. Don't listen to this shit, Ed. But like what we just played, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it just came out, right? And I thought it was pretty. I mean, it was laggy at times, but it's a really good game. So there's definitely benefit. I just don't know, like, if any of the actual major publishers are going to be putting out accurate data about like sustainability, subscriber counts, that type of stuff, or active counts, not just be like, you bought the fucking $1 Game Pass like Chibi. It's like, did you subscribe again? No. Give me another $1. But that's like but like the thing is, like, what people have to realize that as soon as Starfield comes out on the 31st rather, Microsoft is going to see a massive increase in active users, right? So it was smart of them to remove that $1 trial. Fucked up, right? If you kind of like think about it a little bit, but brilliant. And then the other thing is, if you're thinking about subscribing, it's like you used to be able to kind of stack, like for PlayStation Plus, you used to be able to like go into like CD keys and buy like a year-long thing for like $60, and people would buy like 4 of them, and they would just, because like when the new PlayStation Plus was announced, people had like stacked 4 years of like PlayStation Plus, so that when the new catalogs came out, they were like, look, I don't have to do anything or re-up. And PlayStation actually honored a bunch of that. I thought that was the same way with Game Pass, because it went from like, you used to be able to buy Xbox Gold, I think, for a year, but now they only do 3 months. And I'm assuming they do 3 months because they know that, like, Game Pass is in its own right probably expensive to maintain. So why the fuck would I not like want to make money off my product? So I can't do that. I think Ubisoft Plus is the same way too. I don't think any of these places like are looking to offer anything more than 3 to 6 months. I can't imagine.
So I do believe that it's profitable, but I do think there is a saturation limit, right? Like obviously there is a total player base that they can appeal to, right? There is a maximum amount of subscriptions that they can actually get. So I do feel like they're at some point, especially with Xbox and them like acquiring everybody, right? If they just throw all of their first person IPs on Game Pass day one without some type of recuperation method, right? Whether it be some type of transaction or DLC or, some type of sustainment method, right? I think at some point it's, I wouldn't be surprised if it's not been profitable in the past. I'm sure it's profitable now, or at least breaking even, like, in the grand scheme of things.
I assume the yearly cost is fucking insane, because remember you're setting up agreements with each of these like studios, and it's really hard to do. Like, I want my game to appear on fucking Game Pass. I want, like, if I'm an indie studio, like, I'm not just taking the money, I'm taking what's going to be the most beneficial for me. I don't want to have something where it's like, we can only exclusively put this on Game Pass, because I want to eventually have it on PlayStation Plus. There's a game that came out last year called Death's Door. Really good Zelda-like title. And that game came out on Game Pass day one. Fantastic. And then after a year, I think it fell off Game Pass, or it's still there, but then like it showed up on PlayStation Plus as well. So if you're smart, you're going to try to double dip as much as possible, because there's going to be a lot of competition. And this is just another form of another example rather of how gaming is a business, and how like we went from like, what was it? The console wars of the 90s. Chief, I don't think you remember this, but like Sega and Nintendo used to like legit take out magazine ads to shit on each other.
Oh God, really?
And they used to take out like commercials to absolutely blast each other. Oh, it was crazy. And then
When it was fun.
Yeah, it was fucking hilarious. And then like, Sony dipped its foot in like 95, and it was clear that like Nintendo and Sega would have to like step up. So the Dreamcast came out, and so like what was happening was it was like consoles, exclusives, that type of stuff. Xbox comes in, they're like, we have all this money. Who gives a shit about lawsuits because we can pay for all of them? That's essentially how Microsoft works. They're very like, for those who don't know, if you look up like their acquisition and merger history, they're like they get called out all the fucking time for being so fucking aggressive when they're acquiring stuff. I think they acquired Activision Blizzard as a couple billion over its cap. Like no one else can really effectively afford it. It was just one fucking group. That's why there was like that massive, question by the CMA. But like now we're into like subscription services. So you have, what do we have? We have PlayStation Plus, we have Game Pass, we got Ubisoft Plus, we got EA Play, we got what's the fucking GeForce, right, Brad? What is it? It's the
GeForce Now.
Yeah, GeForce Now. Yeah.
Which that doesn't really mean anything. You have to own the game to actually. That's just a streaming.
I'm kind of shocked that like Steam, like Valve doesn't have one. Like I know they have Steam because that's their digital store. I know they don't have to, but like to not have like a rental, to not have like that type of service is kind of weird to me, because I'm like, dude, you could make a fuck ton of money. Because Brad's like whole thing is worth like $10,000 or something. I don't know. His whole Steam account is worth like
Wouldn't be surprised. Actually, I'm curious. So, assuming that the Xbox acquisition of Activision and Blizzard, is completed,
right?
Is Call of Duty going to be a day one exclusive?
No. So there's been like, I think there's news that was put out. So
not exclusive, but a day one release on Game Pass.
Probably a number of regulators had an issue, right? I think CMA, which is the UK regulatory committee, and then I can't remember what ours is called. It's like escaping me. But basically, it was like Microsoft. No one else could do this. Like, what the fuck? So they had this whole massive trial, or massive investigation, bunch of discovery stuff, and it was like it was pretty much like we all know that like there's like this console war, right? It's real. It's fucking stupid, but that's just how competitive industries work.
Mm-hmm.
And so Microsoft was like, look, man, like, what do you guys want from us? And so pretty much it was like, we don't want Call of Duty or any of the big flagship titles from this merger to be Xbox only, right? Totally understand. 100%. I get that, because
I don't, but yeah.
Well, I mean, Sony makes a fuck ton of money off Call of Duty, right? With their exclusive deals. Yeah. Okay. And so Microsoft is like, all right, cool. Listen, we're not going to have exclusivity, but that's not going to but I think that there was a conversation about whether it should come to Game Pass. I don't think it will, because the CMA, which is like the UK regulatory, was like, you need to make concessions to us in which we will not see Activision Blizzard games on Game Pass, which I think is bullshit, because if I buy that, if I'm merging with that company and all that is agreed to, technically I should be, how further could I fucking harm the relationship? You just get the game first. Now, Call of Duty would be a massive blow to like a ton of play. It'd be like, why the fuck would I not get it on Game Pass?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I don't have to pay anything to be toxic anymore. That's great. We'll bring back those Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2 lobbies and shit. But that's essentially what's happened. Like, so I wouldn't doubt, like, I can't see Microsoft acquiring like another major publisher like Ubisoft or EA, because I would assume, like, because they're
going for Sega next. I know it. They're going for Sega.
When they acquired Bethesda, everyone was like raising eyebrows, like, what the fuck, dude? So you're talking about Wolfenstein, Doom.
They didn't acquire Bethesda. They acquired ZeniMax.
Oh, they acquired ZeniMax. Yeah. They acquired Todd Howard. My bad. They acquired Toddy. So they're like, Todd, bring your bitch ass over here, promote these games for us. So, a lot of people were like, what's going to happen to Starfield? Right? And they're like, well, Starfield's now an exclusive to Xbox, because there were other Bethesda games before the actual merger was finalized that were out on PlayStation, and now it's like it's not happening anymore. And I don't mind that. I'm like, look, that like acquisitions and mergers. I work in the medical industry, dude. It happens all the fucking time. there are companies I work for. I'm like, you guys were bought out by who? And it'd be like Covidian or CareFusion or some shit for billions of dollars, you know. So it just happens as a tactic. But like Microsoft was so far behind in 26 with the Xbox One. Chibi, did you have an Xbox One?
Nah, I'm a PlayStation girl.
Yeah. So the Xbox One was a massive fucking bomb, right? I think every exclusive they put out, they didn't support. They didn't support Sunset Overdrive. They didn't support Quantum Break. None of that shit. But they did support their big three. They supported Forza, Halo, and Gears, right? And people were like, "Give us new IPs." They didn't. They got crushed for it. They had one of the worst E3 presentations. So when they introduced Game Pass, I was like, "Well, Sony has something like that called PlayStation Now," but it was like an afterthought to them. Like you could stream PS3, PS4 games, you know, through that service.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then Game Pass was like, "Fuck that. We're gonna like legitimately be as aggressive as possible." We acquired like 23 fucking studios. We're doing like all these different independent contracts and stuff like that with these studios to make sure that they can get their stuff day one on Game Pass. They acquired Bethesda or ZeniMax, sorry. And now they're getting Activision Blizzard. So like once again, Game Pass is still more bang for your buck, right? And even with PlayStation Plus the same way. The question is like, so it's kind of like Netflix, Amazon, that type of stuff, right? Eventually certain things, certain contracts, they go to their term, right? They expire. And those games are going to fall off. So what seemed like a good deal for you is probably going to see itself just kind of drop off quietly because, you know, they're never going to really outright announce it sometimes. So it's just like, it's like a small news blurb. Yeah, fucking Hades is gone. What? Hades is gone. Like, suck it up, deal with it, that type of shit. So I think that it's once again, I do agree with Brad. Like, it's really good for you. But, you know, I do question the cost of it. Like, how's it going to rise? There's no fucking, I think the 3 months for Game Pass is like $15 a month, right? Right now.
It would do.
Or is that Ultimate?
They have, yeah, it's the Ultimate. So there's like 4 different versions now, or 3 different versions. So
which one gets me early access to every game? Which one gets me the
so
XP
there's a
boost?
console. So there's a console one. There's the PC version one, and there's the Ultimate. Ultimate is both of those, but then you can also like stream to your phone and play games on your phone, which is pretty cool. I've on like non-real time sensitive games, it's totally playable in my experience. You know, I wouldn't try to play MLB or anything on it, but
yeah, no online games, that'd be weird.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed it. It's and even with the Ubisoft one, when EA came out, or when the EA one started, the EA Access, and then Ubisoft, when Assassin's Creed Valhalla dropped, for some reason, for some reason, the Watch Dogs Legions dropped like 2 weeks later. I don't know why they put those so close together, but I paid for Ubisoft Connect. I spent $10-15. I think it was $15 to get like the new, like their entire catalog. I paid $15 to play as much as I wanted Valhalla and Watch Dogs Legion, which was about 20 hours. I mean, I honestly, with both of them, I was just like, okay, this is okay games, but I'm glad I didn't buy them, right? Instead of spending $60 to $7 on both of them, right? So instead of spending $150, $140, I spent 20 with tax. We'll say 20 with tax, right? To experience what I wanted to experience out of both of them. And I think it's where the casual player mindset comes into. It's, you know, I don't care about owning these. I just want to play the game, have fun with it. When I'm done with it, I don't have to ever think that it ever existed for me, right? It's just something that I got to experience. I did the same thing with Anthem with the EA Play.
The fuck is wrong with you?
I really enjoyed it until I beat it, and then I was just like, I care absolutely nothing about the in-game content. It was just beating the game was enough for me, and the content gates were just absolutely horrendous in that game. But yeah.
Chibi, I apologize you haven't said too much.
No, it's fine. I'm learning. I'm listening and learning.
Well, what do you think? Because you have Game Pass.
Right? Yeah, I know. I was gonna say, so I consider myself, even though I'm a streamer and content creator, like a casual gamer. Like you guys make fun of me for playing like the same games.
Fortnite.
Listen, I clap cheeks in Fortnite. Leave me alone. But like I see
I don't know
both
what kind of Fortnite
both
you play.
sides.
No.
I see both sides because like as a consumer, like I would definitely say it's made me play like more games that I normally wouldn't have, like with, Texas Chainsaw. Like I normally wouldn't have played something like that. But, I played it and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I could see myself playing it again. And I think it's to say like I could see myself doing that, like if something else came to Game Pass and like my friends wanted to play it, I'm like, oh, it's like I already have it because it's technically on Game Pass. I could see it kind of being tricky at the same time because like for me, like I have it on a subscription base, so it's just it takes it on my bank account. I don't pay attention to like how many games I be getting on this Game Pass. So for me, I'm like, am I getting my money's worth out of it? Because like how many games am I actually playing,
I
so
mean,
forth.
yeah, that's basically like that's a good point because like there's a lot of people who probably don't see the point of a rental service because they're more than likely not going to be playing it a lot. That's why I was like bringing up the brand. I
Mhm.
was like, I feel like more hardcore and
Yeah.
content creators would probably be like more into this because it's your
Mhm.
hobby, your primary hobby. So if I can have more at my fingertips, right, then
Mhm.
more than likely you're gonna see me as a continuous customer. That type of
Mhm.
stuff. Like honestly, like if I didn't have like either of these, I'd be like, well, we're gonna play like fucking Rocket League, guys. I don't know. Unfortunately, that's what you're
Yeah,
getting.
you'd be like me. Like, no, so I definitely see it. Like you get a lot more variety of it, but I could see it being like more catered towards like people who play more games.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, so
but I think
it,
it's a good segue, I should say.
so it also comes back to, do let's say you just get the, let's say you don't have an
Mhm.
Xbox and you just subscribe to the PC one. I think it's
Mhm.
$10, 9.99, something like that.
Yeah.
So let's say you buy it for a year. Let's say you spend
Mhm.
$120 for a year's worth of.
Mhm.
You need to play 2 games to get your value out of it.
That's
Not
fair.
true. Not true. Because you might play like fucking was it Texas Chainsaw
Okay.
Massacre? It's like $30.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
So
I get his point though. I get his
No,
point,
okay,
which is
okay,
very fair.
okay. You need to play 4 games. You need to play
I
4
like,
games
I like
to
getting him
get your
riled
value
up.
out of
He's
it.
like,
I
how
know,
dare
right?
you? Like, first off,
How dare
you
you
don't know
counter
how
me?
you know how much these
Yeah.
games be
You
costing,
need to
bro.
play 1 AAA title
Yeah,
and 3 indie
independent.
games,
Yeah,
right?
indie game.
And
Yeah,
To be
then
fair,
and
I think
then
I'm only on
boom.
number 2, so I gotta play 2 more by the end of this year.
exactly. Well, I mean,
So
that's what.
I don't even know what game I played before this. I know it was Texas Chainsaw, but I had it prior, and I don't remember what game I got.
Well, that's the thing is that like are the ultimate question for like is it cost effective 100%, right?
Yeah.
Because you have more at your fingertips, you have more at your
Mhm.
disposal. Do I recommend it? I mean, if this is your hobby 100%, I'd rather
Yeah,
recommend that
like
you
if you like
have a
exploring games.
subscription, you know, and let's say like you have, I think there's like an extension to Game Pass from for like if you have like was it Xbox Ultimate, you can get like EA also play. I think you might have
Yeah,
access to some of the
you get
stuff.
the lesser. You don't
Yeah,
get the.
oh, that's right because EA Play has like fucking 3 different tiers too, and so it's
Yeah,
Ubisoft.
it's EA Access and then EA
Yeah,
Pro Access or
EA
Access
Gold
Pro.
or some shit, man. You can play.
Mhm.
I mean, it doesn't matter. You can play Madden on fucking Game Pass right now and be sad. Um, but yeah, no, it's. I think if you desperately want to like see like whatever new Xbox game is coming out, right? Because the next year and a half ish, you're gonna see at least a consistent release of Xbox titles. Then Game Pass should be on your radar, and then if you're someone who pays attention to their subscriptions, and there are a lot of people who don't because fucking sometimes you're like 15 bucks hitting my bank, I don't fucking notice it, right? That type of shit. But it is recommended that you pay attention, make sure it turns off the subscription, then turn it back on when a certain game comes out and you want to play it.
Yeah.
Like Forza or fucking Starfield, whatever it is. But yeah, I
Don't
just
be like me and just
yes, take my money, Netflix, man. Fuck
take
y'all.
my money. I had to cancel a lot of my
Y'all
stuff because
y'all
it was like
took
I
the
don't use
office
it.
off. What the fuck?
The-
Well, I mean, what is it? They went to like Peacock or fucking Paramount.
I
One
don't
of
know.
those two, dude. There's so
I
many
forgot
fucking.
people were throwing like a fucking riot. They were like, "We got to watch all of the seasons again." And
Well, I
I'm
mean,
like,
like the subscription services are just, that's
Ass.
that's the thing. Like once again, you're paying for that contract unless it's a first
mhm.
party. That's the difference between gaming and like television and stuff like that. Like with gaming, like I have, some first party stuff and then some third party things that are gonna probably fall off eventually. unless you want to continue that agreement. But that's why I assume like they probably look at like they'd say like a year or 9 months ish is probably enough time to kind of gauge the interest within that game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a single player title. You're probably only going to play it in the first like you're probably gonna get like really a 3-month peak ish around that time frame. Multiplayer 9 months depending on like the type of game it is, right? Most of the most successful multiplayer games are all free to play, right?
Mm-hmm.
Except for like when you see like Call of Duty, but like you have, you know, it's base multiplayer which comes with the game, that package, but that's like
Mm-hmm.
you know, a year until the next Call of Duty comes out. That's its cycle. Battle
Mm-hmm.
royales are like free to play. You're like, fuck that. I can just refresh each chapter and I make my money off microtransactions.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
For sure.
yeah. I mean, you have a bunch of Game Pass stuff too that like where you get like free, you know, like was it like fucking certain microtransactions, like you get a free coat or some shit, and it's like that's great, man. I'm never gonna fucking wear that. This game's in this game's in fucking first person. I will never see this character wear this. What is the point?
And it's
You're
lime
like, but I
green.
need
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's lime green.
That's
I may
what-
show up in a
I hate-
cutscene with it.
Yeah. I hate when Twitch drops anything in any game because freaking it's always bright purple, and I'm like, I'm not wearing bright purple on my character in this like dark medieval
Yeah,
time period.
I don't want
piece
people.
game.
I can't be seen. It's a stealth game.
Purple dinosaur. Look at us.
It's a stealth game. Why am I fucking Barney? Like, what's going on? I'm Reptar from fucking Rugrats. And
Fucking
shit.
Reptar.
Like,
Stop. I was just talking about how good the Rugrats movie was the other day. Sorry, you just reminded me
Which
when you said
one?
Reptar. The one where
Which
they go
one?
to Paris.
oh, the first
Oh.
one.
Yeah.
Did you watch it on VHS?
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah,
actually
I
still
had
have it.
had the orange VHS tape.
Yep.
I do too.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Well,
shit.
I say I have it. I think it's at my mom's house. But
Yeah,
So
mine
if,
too. My
if-
mom used to have all the Disney ones. The
Isn't
Nickelodeon.
Pixie one of your mods?
Yeah, why?
Yeah, is Pixie like? Does that answer Pixie's question? Because that was
Oh no, wait, that wasn't Pixie. The person's name is Pixie's or not
oh,
Pixie's favorite.
Are they in the
Yeah.
chat? Because I'm like, look, we Satisfactory.
I don't think so, but he'll watch the video.
we answered your question.
Yeah, you're
So let's
welcome.
moving on to Dan. He said,
Dan. Patriotics in chat.
thoughts of the effectiveness of Twitch drops for games. I like if you're talking about like esports and stuff like that, right? Where you like Valorant, CS:GO, Rocket League, that type of stuff. Twitch drops are like essential to. It sounds fucked up, but there are people who do not give a shit about the esport itself, but they do care about free stuff.
Yeah.
And they will put that thing on for 4 hours or something.
Yeah. No, and like I've noticed that a lot. Sorry to cut you off. I noticed that a lot of like big streamers who do like Apex and
Mhm.
Overwatch, they literally will include like Twitch drops enabled just because
Fuck
you
yeah.
have so many people who will just lurk. Like they don't give a shit about your stream, but they're like, oh, this big streamer is streaming. Let me just lurk. I don't even follow them. I want the drops.
If you're sponsored, let's say for example, Chibi got sponsored by Atlas, right? The
Would
makers
cry.
of Persona. Okay.
Would tear up.
And she's like,
cry.
hey, we got some Twitch drops coming out for like Persona 3 or Persona 5 Arena, right? Like Chibi would fucking, yeah, absolutely. There are gonna be
I'd shit
some
myself.
nerds like leaking and like, what are you doing over there? Same thing when like they were doing like, it was Multiverses. I remember when that game first came out last year, before they fucking like shelved it to kind of restructure the entire game. They were doing an entire thing where like major content creators, especially in the FGC, the fighting game community, they were pretty much like, hey, drops enabled, and the drop itself is a code to the early access. And I was like, that shit
Oh.
is a fucking fantastic incentive.
There was something like that for
I
like
watch.
a beta
It's
game
like,
I
how long
played.
do I have to
don't
watch you
remember.
for? 2 hours? That's fine, bro. I'll just put you on in the background. I don't give a shit. You're not good at the game anyway, so who cares?
Ooh,
Let me just
bro,
get
that's
that
what,
done.
That's what he thinks about me when he watches
I
my
gotta
streams.
Wait, you?
Yeah.
I mostly think like Chibi tells me that she's good at something, and I'm like, I'm
I'm not.
interested to see what she's good at. When she's like, I'm gonna clutch up an Apex, you're never here, and I'm like, cool. And I show up, and she's like fumbling her ears. She's like, I'm good, and then she's like the first one down, and she's like cheering them on, go guys, go. And I'm like, what? What the fuck am I watching here, dude? What's going on? I'm like, what?
I did good in Fortnite that one
she's
time.
Like, she's like, I'll clutch up in Fortnite, and then like Wait, well, you did
I
good to
did.
the end, then you died.
Okay.
And then he fucking
Hey, it
did that for
happens.
you,
You caught me on a bad
right?
day, which is 90% of my day.
Oh, jeez. Oh my god. Let's get the sympathy points out. Is this your Monday podcast? Is it, we ain't doing mental health today. God damn.
Hey, I did Mental Health Monday yesterday. You missed it.
I watched your VOD for it. I was
Thank
like,
you.
it was very informative.
Thank you. Mondays are my non-scuff days.
No.
I did. It was, what game was it? It was Destiny, but better. Warframe. It was Warframe.
Warframe's
I used to
really
love
good.
Warframe.
They did a drop one time, and they didn't limit it to one stream at a time. So I literally had like 15 streams open for like 24 hours, and I had like 120 drops. They were all garbage. I mean, it was like,
Yeah.
5 materials or whatever per,
But I mean,
per
listen,
per 30 minutes or something.
That's
But
a
it was just
resource,
like,
baby.
I had like 150 inbox messages. It took so long for me to claim all of them because there was no claim all button.
I mean, it really works. I mean, if you're putting out a new multiplayer title, right? And you contact someone streaming, let's say like, hey Chibi, wants you to play this battle royale. You know nothing about the game. You've only seen like a fucking thing. Like we had gotten an email once from this indie developer, and I looked up their game and I was like, I'll play it because they gave me a free code. And I was like, I'm not going to review this. I'm sorry, dude, because I would not say kind things about it.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving me the code. But like if someone
And then
does
he
it,
sued us.
man, and then they sued Brad, but Brad gave him the wrong address, so they sued somebody else. We have no idea how that lawsuit's going, but unfortunate for them. But yeah, if they gave you like a code and you're like, hey, I'm gonna promote this, right? More than likely, what happens is that you go live, post that shit on social media. Their team or whomever it is, like tries to draw viewers to you, right? And then you can just say, like, hey, we'll give out codes for the game. If the game looks fun, that type of stuff. It's got really good incentives. I think Cult of the Lamb did a really good job with their Twitch. I think their Twitch stuff. Like, I think any type of Twitch integration in general is good for like promotion purposes.
Mm-hmm.
But like you
Borderlands
really
3 had a good one.
Yes, Borderlands 3 is a fantastic one. But like, cause dude, the golden keys are fucking the shift keys. They're hard to get. Like they're super fucking rare, and they're only given out by like Randy Pitchford, who's the CEO of Gearbox on Twitter and shit. You'd have to follow his account. So it's good. It's a good incentive. I don't know how effective it would be for the streamer, right? I assume for like maybe you'll get like, I don't know, 1% of them actually giving a shit about your gameplay and stuff like that, right? I don't know. I could kind of see it being a good incentive for it, but if you want to like artificially boost your numbers and be
I
like,
mean,
when you're
any influx is influx.
Yeah, any traffic is good traffic, baby. When you're
I want to say, like, thinking about like when I had my drops on, maybe I had like a couple people that would actually say something. But I'm never like, I don't have my numbers on.
Don't ever go into an esport. They're like, drops enabled, drops. That's how it's in Rocket League. Everyone's like, drops, no drops, I'm out.
Really? Oh shit.
Oh yeah, all the time. Like, is drops enabled? And Rocket League's like, yes, drops are enabled. Sweet, I'll watch the stream.
I know. I've had a couple people be like, like, why don't you have your drops on? And I'd be like, there's drops on for this game? Like, fuck, my bad. Like, shit. Didn't get the memo.
She was like missing out on all this like promotional opportunity and stuff like that.
That's just my life. I'm just like,
No,
when did this happen?
She was holding the chat hostage. She's like, listen, if I don't hit at least 50 viewers, drops will not be on.
It's like, hold on.
An incentive.
Like, did you follow? Are you subscribed? No drops for you then, bitch boy.
It'd be funny if we could just like target who we could give drops to. Okay, you've been here for an hour. I'll give you a drop.
Oh,
you're following your sub. I'll give you a drop.
No, not just following. Like, you were talking in chat. I would just put like
you're active.
I would put like a dot.
Just dot, like you fucking Morse code.
Yes.
Dot.
I am here. Like, give me drop.
give drop.
Like the fucking the seagulls from Finding Nemo. Mine. Drop.
That is how it should chat.
I mean,
drop.
Yeah. I mean, that's just, it's good. Like I said, it's just good incentive. It's like doing giveaways, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's just the intent of the person. Like, my wife was like, "Why do you do giveaways?" I'm like, "Cause I like it's. I do charities. I like giving like charity and stuff like that. So I'm like, I like giving people games, because I know a lot of people who are not fortunate enough to like be able to purchase it. I have, some money. Yeah, I'll gladly give away a game if you ask.
Yeah. No, I think it's nice too.
You just gotta do 10 push-ups.
Well, then I'm not winning it.
10 elevated push-ups. I need handstand push-ups right now.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
In front of Brad counting. Give me 10. One.
No, but it just,
one.
sorry.
One.
You want to do 10 elevated
0.5.
push-ups?
Was it?
You want to do 10 elevated
Was it
push-ups?
Brad like in the PRT and shit like that when in the military? It's like one.
One.
Little Colby was ready to do them. He goes, "Where do you want me to do them?"
Go off.
No, it reminded me though, because I remember I was watching, oh my god, who was it? It was either like Lulu Lovely or like some Apex streamer. And the drops had like fucked up. It wasn't them, but it was like Twitch or something. And so drops were supposed to be enabled, but they weren't. And like I don't know if it was her, their whole fucking chat was like, "Where are the drops? Drops? Like, where are they? Why aren't they working? Like, where are the drops, guys?" I was like, holy shit, like I feel like I'm losing brain cells.
I may have to. Okay. I don't know what the fuck that was about.
Kids.
I mean, but like with I watched a couple of streamers who were like doing Mortal Kombat and stuff like that, and their drops were enabled, and like their numbers were far lower than those who had like MK, like that drop actually enabled for the code and stuff. Like like I said, it's an incredible incentive, right? Obviously, like you're being sponsored, you know, and pretty much it's not like, hey, we're not paying you to play the game, we're gonna give you a code, but we're also gonna fucking help you get more visibility by having drops on, right? The unfortunate part is like it feels like it's all artificial, you know, but whatever, you know, especially when you're going to a sponsor like this month I had 100,000 like people. It's like, what you have last month? Don't worry about last month.
I'm talking about this month.
Let's worry about what we had right now. Why can't we talk about what we have right now? What the fuck?
About the present. Why are you worried about the past?
I'm that guy. I'm that guy in the fucking board meeting. I'm like, all right, let's take a look at your past 6 months. Like, what happened here? in your
Ken would be scary as a
in your
boss.
fucking
like,
line graph.
Don't worry about it.
I have people
who work. This end one.
I have people at work who are like,
it's about the destination.
I've had people at work who are like, would you be like a mean boss? I'm like, depends on if you do your job. I mean, will you show up to fucking work and do it? No.
You gonna make me look good, or
yeah you gonna
fired me?
Do I have to make you look bad?
Would I have fired you? No,
no, I said you would have. It was not a question.
We would have like a meeting after the first day. So do you think you should be here? Let's talk about your performance. Let's do a performance.
What I learned in boating school is
I talked to Brad recently because I've been talking about what we do in the shadows, right? It's one of that show is fucking hilarious. I love that show. There's a vampire, he's an energy vampire. His name's Colin Robinson. And he worked at this office job, and he became the boss. So he was like siphoning all this energy because it's like he just siphons from like all their negative thoughts and stuff. And he's like, come on here right now. Like, let's do an impromptu fucking performance review right now. And I was like, oh my god, dude, that's me and Chibi. So we did the interview 2 days ago. I gave you the job. You showed up for work, and now I have to question whether or not you want to be here. What did you do after orientation? You know,
it's like, oh,
orientation was 2 days. You didn't come back after orientation. We have a problem. You know,
if you could just see me and Ken's conversation sometimes, he's like, Chibi, why didn't you do this? And I'd be like, I'll be like, ow.
My favorite thing is I'm like,
Chibi,
can you promote this on your Instagram and your Discord, right? That'd be great. Cause I'm like, you know, no one knows who I am. And I'm like, here you go. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, Chibi, did you put it on your Discord? She's like, I put it on my Instagram.
like, I forgot Discord.
And like, there was one time I wanted you to promote the podcast, like help out. And you didn't promote the last one, by the way. We'll get on that. But it was funny. It was funny because I was like, Chibi. And she was like, I was depressed. I was like,
I remember that. I was, though. That
you would be like that who's the was it in Parks and Rec? Was it
oh my god.
Yes. Is Rob Lowe?
No. It was
fuck you.
Is it Aubrey? What's the fuck's her name? She's like
you mean
you know what I'm talking about? She's like the executive assistant and shit like that.
Really? Yeah, Audrey Plaza.
She's Chris Pratt's wife for the thing. It's like she's like fucking like I guess I did it. It's like what the fuck? That's Chibi showing up. I was there.
See, but I'd be a little bit more happier than she's just.
Did you submit the paperwork? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I did.
It looks real good. And she's like,
Oh
looking
yeah,
at it.
April Ludgate.
Yeah. As she's scrambling fucking through her emails, like, I think. That's what I deal with on a day-to-day basis with my job. I'm like, did you do that? Like, no. Fuck, man. You know how much trouble we're gonna be in. He's
See,
like,
if I
"We'll be
was in
fine."
like an office, I'd be okay. Because then I'm forced to work.
Dude, I remember, like, I'm hybrid, so it was funny. My boss, she thinks I look so sad at work, but I'm like, dude, I front load a lot of my work on Mondays and stuff. So Tuesdays and the days I'm in, I'm just like tapping away, like reviewing contracts with my buddies and shit. And they're like, "Why do you look so sad?" I'm like, "Because there's fucking nothing for me to do." Like,
You're like, I'm bored.
Like, dude, guys, contract admin work is fucking like it's only good at the beginning and at the end of it when I'm involved. The middle of it is me waiting for people to like get their life together and shit the entire time.
You just spam people. Are you done?
What does this word mean? It's like, what do you mean? Indemnification? It's liability. It's like, for who? For fucking both of us, man. It's like, oh, okay. Do we need it? Yes, you need it. You don't want to be held liable for shit, guys. Like, oh my god.
Do we need that?
Essentially, yeah. And my boss is like, she's a lawyer, she's an attorney. It's really funny because she's a young attorney, so like she just has zero chill with people above her. And I'm like, hey, I need to talk shit to someone because I'm a vet. I'm like, I need to talk shit to someone. Can you you do some legal stuff? Just have some legal conversation. Because if I walk in that room, I'm making this person cry. This person will be in tears. I'm gonna call my buddy Brad and have Brad just talk them to death. Do you know why you're not? You know why you're here today?
You know why we're
Have you played Final Fantasy 9?
I know.
Let's tell you about it.
Let's talk about that. He pulls up a book. I should have this compendium. Like, it's very shiny. What were we talking about? We're talking about Twitch and shit. Yeah, I mean,
what were we talking about?
Listen,
hey, it happens every
there's
time,
only one real streamer here. It's Chibi, right? Brad's it's almost September, so it's his quarter, so he's got to have something come out. So look forward to that.
I believe in you, sir.
All of my weekends have been incredibly busy lately.
Mood.
Playing Baldur's Gate 3, you fucking piece of shit.
He's like, yes. Sir.
Every time I'm like, is he on Baldur's Gate right now? We even fucking recorded. What the fuck?
That was very. Ken said something earlier to me today, and I really want to see. But he said I would like Baldur's 3 Gate more than I did Dragon Age.
I think you would.
That's a hard statement to say. I fucking love
whoever's here right now, right, watching, right? I don't care the number, but if you're watching right now, we have a video up for Baldur's Gate 3. We just got to Act 2, right? Me, Brad, and Brandon. Brandon's fucking hilarious. If that gets to like 50 likes by Friday, I will buy Chibi the game, right?
Please promote. I would love the game.
I think me and Brad know this. Like, we play Dragon Age. We've all played Dragon Age, like Origins and 2 and Inquisition.
I was actually playing Origins like
Baldur's Gate 3 is like the best version of those games.
Dude, you're like making
head
me so
and shoulders
hyped.
over.
I like no life to that game for years.
The characters in that game are phenomenal. The first act alone can take you up to like 40 to 50 hours to beat.
Jesus. Who is that one character that everyone is so down bad for?
Which one? Asterion?
I don't know.
Vampire?
I don't know. I think so.
Sure as shit isn't Gale. I fucking hate that motherfucker.
I really want to play now. All right. You know what I'm going to do?
You should,
I'm going to start.
When you watch the video, right? Listen to Brandon talk about Asterion. It is the funniest thing because Brandon's like, he has a real southern accent. And he's like, y'all see the vampire? Do you guys let him bite you? And Brad was like, yeah. And now we're like best buddies. And he's like, why would you do that, Count Succula?
Damn it, I'm gonna go watch it now. Count Succula.
And then Brandon messaged me. He was like, I fucking hate my voice. I was like, it's only when
poor thing.
Like, it's only when like he gets like super interested in something, and then like his accent is like super strong. Like there's a character named Will. He's a warlock, and he's fucking awesome. He has like one stone eye, right, Brad? I think it is. And Brandon's first thought is, he got lazy eye. And I was like, what the fuck did you just say? I was like, no, man. He's like one stone. He's like this. He's like, oh man, from this angle, it looked like a lazy eye.
I love Southern accents so much.
Dude,
They're my
it's
fucking
very funny
favorite.
playing with them.
Oh, they're my fucking favorite.
We have a one scene where I was shitting on Brad because he got killed. He got like swarmed. So I didn't put this footage in, but like before that, I actually walked up to that stuff and I was like, oh shit, those are bad guys. Let me go warn Brandon because I know he would wander into it. But Brad wandered off from us, went that way, saw a chest, got murdered, and then I had to waste like our best scroll spell to like wipe the entire thing. And all we had to do is kill like one enemy, no health. I'm already down. It's pretty much up to Brandon. He's like, I got it. And I was like, don't walk forward. And he's like, you're going to slip. He slipped. And we're just like, are you fucking? He's like, well, I was thinking. I was like, end your turn. He's like, I'm thinking about it.
I'm thinking about it.
I was like, oh my God, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh my God, this
we have another one. I still haven't edited it yet, but it's we went to go. What did we do, Brad? We went to go fucking see this ghost child, right? This place was haunted. And so like Brad walks up and he's like sneaking around, grabbing all this shit, right? That's one of the things we love, is like stealthing around. And then Brad walks down with Brandon. I forgot my mic was off because I was talking to my wife. And so I'm like, I hear Brad say like, let's go back for it. Like I'm oh shit, fuck yeah, man. So I turned around to fucking fight the ghost. And I told Brad, like while I was muted, I was like, hey man, save the game. He saved it, so I thought he heard me. And then all I hear is Brad and Brandon panic, like, what is he doing? Where are you going? Are you serious right now? Or like, let's go kill him.
And then, like he's possessed. He's just being taken over by the demon.
Brad's like, I don't think he can hear us. And I was like, no, I can hear you. I was like, oh shit, I'm muted the whole time. So I was talking to myself. I was like, fuck, man. That's not a good sign. Why was nobody responding to me? Yeah, I was like, what's happening here? It's like, why are you guys all freaking out? Yeah, let's go do this. But yeah, no, there's so many different scenarios in that game. It's too much. Like you can romance every character, I think. You can have a dog, an owlbear. And the owlbear is fucking adorable looking. It like, yeah, you could have them both as pets and shit like that. Yeah, it's an insane.
You can also have a brain as a pet.
You can also have a brain as a pet. You can talk to animals. I kicked a fucking squirrel in one of the things because a squirrel bit me, so I just launched it.
That poor baby.
We played chaotically, so like Brad took a person's loot. We walked up to this person.
Oh no!
This person was playing the loot and writing down a fucking sad song about their master who had died. Brad goes, I'm like, take that loot, baby. So I thought the reaction to it was, you would just grab the loot, tell him to stop. He takes the loot and then looks at him and then smashes it on the fucking rock in front of him. She screams out. She's like, I can't believe you did this. You're terrible. I was like, and we just started laughing. And then you try to approach her more. She like walks away. So you continue to do it.
Y'all are fucked up.
Dude, the whole game you can do fucked up things. You can like most people when you're fighting like a hard boss, you can just knock them into it. We spent like an entire hour trying to push a boss down a fucking cavern, just trying to figure out the right path to do it. We just kept doing it. Yeah, no, it's the strategy's good. I don't think it's actually hard solo. Honestly, it's harder with like when you have people like Brad and Brandon who are just fucking like like Brad will wander off and find like an iron fucking golem nowhere. He's like, don't look at my screen. And I'm like, what did you do,
like,
dude?
What the fuck did you find?
And like what's great is that if you're playing co-op, that's why we wanted you to play with us, because when you're playing co-op, when you talk to anyone or an event happens and like an icon will appear over the character's avatar, and you can click on that and you can join the conversation. So you'll join their conversation, and you know, because we've been playing chaotically, but I've noticed, and me and Brad noticed, because Brad has like 100 fucking plus hours in the game, is that like there was so much shit we missed in Act 1. Because I was like, bro, I'm not gonna spend like an entire time. I want to show some progress in our gameplay and stuff like that. But like every time we play, Brad will go up like, hey, there's this fucking character who's like this gold monster who just wants to take your gold, and Brad was just walk up to it, and I'm like, flick a coin at it, and it's like let's fight it, and then we fought it. He did like one shot at us. I'm like, what the fuck was the point of doing that? Man? Like, what's wrong with you? And they have like a bunch of great voice actors in it. Like it's insane. I think there's some iffy spots of dialogue, but for the most part, like everyone, you know, people want to romance the fucking vampire. They want to romance the evil cleric. The warlock with one eye who has horns now and shit like that. The barbarian who's like got the most attractive fucking voice I've ever heard. I was like, holy
Oh.
shit. Yeah, her name's Karlak. I was like, Jesus, what the fuck? And then you have like, then you have a character that's like your dream character, right? Where they talk to you about like certain things, and yeah, and you can make them like as attractive as humanly possible, like whatever you want. Yeah, it's like what Dragon Age was, right? You could just pretty much sleep with your whole party.
It's great.
But yeah, but it's far more like, but the visuals are just far better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Damn.
that's essentially what was like the goal. I said, Chief, if you can.
Yeah, get the video to 50 likes, y'all.
Yeah. That was basically what we were trying to do. God damn. We stretched. All right. Any questions from the chat?
I don't think so, but chat, you got any questions for us today?
No Minecraft stuff, please. God damn.
It's okay. That gremlin's not here. That is my arch nemesis.
You have an arch.
My mod Raph.
Oh.
I am Leopard.
Okay. No Minecraft. Ugh.
It's not that like I hate Minecraft. It's just it makes me so sleepy.
I mean, it makes me
It's
tired.
same thing with like with Animal Crossing. Like I love Animal Crossing, but that shit makes me so sleepy.
I remember when Animal Crossing first came out. It was COVID, right? When fucking. So I
was like, I had that shit on the queue.
I had only played. No, I didn't play Animal Crossing before. My
Oh.
wife was like, "I'm gonna see what this is about." My daughter was 2 at the time, right? You just put that really, whatever on the screen when my wife's at work, and my daughter's like, "Wow, it's bright and shiny," that type of shit. And I was like trying to make my island, but I was like looking at my friends like, God, my thing looks like shit, bro.
Dude, the way that some people made their islands are insane.
I was just doing like objectives, but people were like absolutely like making like these fucking crazy gardens,
like
and I'm
terraforming. Yeah.
I'm like, here's a tree and a bush. This is my house.
This is my house.
Come on in. Let's fucking come into the dojo.
Curtis said, "What did that loot do to you?"
What did it do to Brad? Nothing. He was annoyed. Seriously,
what do to what?
Brad is just chaotic evil.
I can't remember
Curtis.
what the video was,
Oh,
but Brad just like he just walked. So first off, Brad fought harpies, which pissed me off because I was literally like, fuck. I think I came out of a cutscene. We were like investigating an area. Like that's pretty much how we work. We just like separate, right? And I was like, Brad, where are you? And he's like, oh man, this is a fight. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, harpies that almost killed us.
Well, so okay, in my defense, you were talking to the devil, right? So
Yeah.
the devil popped up, and I was like, okay, I don't want to conversate with the devil. So
Oh
I was
yeah, like
walking along.
Chief, when I say like there's like multiple waifus, it's like all the fucking time. Like there's like someone attractive popping up
speaking
and
my
talking to you.
language.
Like either they're like a like nightmare horror show of a face, or they're like godly in appearance. Like there's really no in between.
There's a succubus that's like the most like every time she pops up, I'm like, hey, demon waifu, what's going on? I had a whole like when she pops up in the cutscene, it's an every time you like go to camp, like it'll happen. It's like I think it's automatic. When she popped up the first time, I was like succubus, and in my head I was like, can't say that. Don't say
Wife
it.
just fucking walks in. Hello?
What are you saying right now? I was like, got the succubus here. The key word is suck. But that's essentially
Please,
like
somebody clip that. Somebody clip that.
that's essentially what that is.
Suck.
But yeah, no, it's fucking crazy how like it like the first time you see your dream like character, I was like, dude, what? Like they showed up in like sleepwear. Right, pretty much just like lingerie, and I was like, "Wait, what's going on here?" And all of us were experiencing it. And Brandon was like, "Whoa, what is happening?" I'm like trying to skip. I was going to skip. Come on, get to the good parts.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's the game is crazy. I think Brad, like, he became obsessed with it. Like some people became obsessed with like Animal Crossing, but like 100.
But Brad was with
Dude.
Baldur's Gate.
Dude, it's fucking crazy because he just got past
He's like,
he got past the
And
part. He got past the part we're on, and he's put like 60 hours into that area.
Yeah, like I'm not even 60% or 70% done with the game, and I have put at least 60, if not 70 hours into it.
Yeah.
Like that would be me, and that's why I'm scared to kind of play it because like
it's good content,
I barely have
man.
no time.
It's good content on stream.
I know life that shit.
Well, I will say it's very non-directive though, so you can completely not know about half the content that you come across, right? It's just
I was like, Brad, did you run into the owl bear? He's like, yeah, man. I was like, fuck, man, we missed a lot. I was like, what's this? We went into an area where we like had to navigate traps in this mausoleum, and we went one way, but the other way, you can get attacked by wraiths and stuff like that, and there's like treasure there. And I was like, I did it randomly. I was like, what's that? I was like, I'm way too fucking low level for this. So we all just got killed. I was like, well, you know, reload from there. Yeah, you have like it's just crazy. And then there's like it's really funny because if you go online, one of the most popular videos is speedrunning sex in Baldur's Gate 3. It's a real thing. And someone did it in like 2 minutes.
Air sex.
Yeah. Yeah, they did it in 2 minutes with one of the party members you meet. I'm like, bro, this game, you are fucking moving, my guy. Like, god damn.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Okay, in theory, if I was to get the game, could I like catch up and then join your campaign? Or is it like too late? How does it work?
It would take some time for you. We could always, but I mean, yeah, we could always like have you create a character or just pick a character with us and play out. Like if you ever, that type of stuff. That's how we do with Brandon.
I mean, like if this is something you want to like stream, like I don't mind creating another character for like say your campaign. I mean, you don't have to join our campaign specifically. I mean, or you could. I mean, that's fine too. You just be completely lost because.
No, fair enough.
We're completely lost anyway. I don't know what's happening. Brad does.
Restart. I mean, on the good thing, you guys could find stuff that you didn't see before.
Not Brad. Brad's probably seen everything. I mean, but there are like different outcomes. So like when you're doing like I said, JP, when you're doing stuff in that game, I fucking promise you will find a different outcome for everything. Like, did you?
Well, I mean, that's what I loved about Dragon Age. Like, there was so many different endings and so many different ways you could go.
Like the best way to describe like Baldur's Gate 3 is like it gives you it's like just ultimate player freedom, like, and it's an RPG. That's why it's so highly fucking rated, is because like you have so many different, like you can kill party members if you want. If you don't like the way they're acting or whatever, you can kill them. Yeah, completely. You can force them to leave your group, all that type of shit. Yeah. But that's like usually when we meet everyone. Like we always choose like the most chaotic way to meet people. We're like, slap his hand, like punch him in the fucking face. I will stay loyal to you. Damn, you're a sadist. That's fucked up. Have some more self-respect for yourself.
And there's technically like 17,000 endings, right? So there's just random points in the game where the game just ends.
Could
like
end
it's
for
just
you.
like that is the end of your playthrough, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Larian Studios. There's a game that Larian Studios made, Divinity Original Sin 2.
I played that for like one stream. I was very drunk.
Those games are they're fucking just masters of like RPGs, honestly. Like their writing is so fucking strong. It's insanity. But yeah. That was like the goal. I was like, eventually maybe we could leverage Chibi to like, help us with the videos, get likes, maybe some subs, and fucking, but she'll get Baldur's Gate 3, and maybe she can replace it. Replace the Dragon Age love.
There's no such way.
Oh,
that game will always have my heart.
Whenever someone meets Shadowheart, they change their mind. That's psychotic.
We'll fucking see. We'll fucking
that's
see.
Psycho Cleric.
I will.
Her story's actually really good. She's one of my favorite.
I do like every character is good, man. It's stupid. All right,
except for Gale.
Is there anything from the chat? Because I don't want to fucking get too goddamn off road on this.
No, you're good. We had some Minecraft questions, but like
what? Who asked Minecraft questions?
Okay, so technically we have the subs for the PS5, but realistically, I'm being realistic here. I would only play Final Fantasy, and like, I don't know if it would be worth it to get a whole fucking PlayStation
here's
for it. Brad's like, bitch.
I offered Chibi, and then she backed
out
of the deal.
I just don't think I would. It would
just
be
like Darth Vader, like pray. I had to alter the deal. Like it's unfortunate. But Brad was like, "You get a PS5 or you get a PS5." That's true. You could. Not anymore.
It's okay. It's okay.
Maybe like we'll go.
When we hit 10,000.
And we hit 10K subs. You guarantee I'll buy her a PS5. Okay. But
see, if it was like a Persona exclusive on PS5,
Brad, what was the thing you said? Like, we'll buy you a PS5, but you have to buy the game Final Fantasy 16 yourself. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
We got your console. You got to buy the game.
It's like, what do you mean you want controllers and shit?
You got to buy all the accessories.
You want the power strip to it? Get the fuck out of here. That's expensive.
Literally just the PlayStation 5.
I went on eBay and said, I want the PS5 unit only. I don't want anything else. No bells, no whistles, none of that shit. Just give me the PS5. Give me the SSD drive. That's all I want.
Bro.
Any further questions? If we don't have anything that's not relevant to
I don't think so.
Great. Outstanding. So the next episode will be Down the Rabbit Hole. And it will be Soul Eater.
Hopefully.
For the love of God, Brad, please watch the fucking show. Listen, the assignment was given out 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. Your grades just keep falling.
I'm watching it. I'm watching it right now. I've toned Joel up. I'm watching it.
The grades just keep falling. You know what I mean? If I was a teacher, you'd be fucking on the street right now.
I would have already dropped the class.
It's only 25 episodes, right? You know
that we're watching. Yeah.
Only.
Yeah. I watched the whole. I rewatched the whole thing, and I came away from just like I fucking hate Maka, but whatever. But anyway. Dude, I like a whole different vision on the show. So we'll do that. And then the next Pixelated Thoughts, I'm hoping we can get Chibi's friend on.
Yeah, no, he said he was down.
Nice. The game developer.
He wanted to talk to you before. I don't know, just to talk.
Yeah.
So I might give you
Is he subscribed to the channel?
I think so. Maybe. I don't know. He watches our shit all the time.
Tell him he has to get his whole studio subscribed. I don't want to hear that. We can't do it shit. No, it's good.
Bruh.
Yeah, no, if he wants to chat it up and stuff like that. Because I know that there might I just want to like make it clear about what the things we can chat about, things we can't chat about.
Yeah, I think that was the same thing. And he was saying like if he talked to you before, it would like essentially that like you would know like what he could talk about and stuff like that.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is that we're gonna like feed him like this live, be like, yeah, dude, we're just gonna talk about like your journey.
Wait, don't tell him. Don't
the
say
game,
it,
the games you've worked on. But right fucking now, what game are you working on right now? Like, when does it come out?
Chris, spill your fucking beans.
Can we be sponsored by your company? Like, how many subs does Brad need to buy us? Like, he's got it. Let's put us on. Like $50 gets me 5,000 subs, so we'll fucking drop it there right now.
Christ, the follow bots, bro,
Yeah.
sub bots.
So yeah. That'd be fucking hilarious. I'm sorry, I think that shit's funny. But yeah, no, I really do want to talk with him because I had a friend who was in game development, but he's like when he got out, he was fucking like he quit cold turkey. He was like, I'm done with this shit, dude. So let's get in contact with him. Beyond that though, if you have not done already, please check out our videos. Please subscribe, fucking notification bells, whatever, right? If Chibi wants to make content and send it to me so I can fucking like edit for her, I'll do so on my free time. But she needs to send me winning content.
Oof.
The next time we do
a
co-game together, like fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre, though, I will ask you to not have all the shit on your screen because it looked real.
I know. I didn't think about it until I told
Jack the same shit. I was like, we're playing a horror game, and I see Charity at the top. I'm like, bro, we're fucking killing people. I can't have that there. You want to have your cams up? 100%. That's completely fine. But
no, that's fine. Just remind me. Because last time, like, I just recorded and I forgot to just record.
Oh, also for everyone who's listening, this is another point of like when Chibi did send me this stuff on time. But it was Jock's fault. It was Jock's fault.
Right. It was Jock's fault. He used my computer all day and I was like, Jock, can you do me a favor? Can you download and send this to Ken? Could not figure out how to it was wrong. It was just going wrong.
I was straight up like editing me and Jack's thing and I was like, dude, I will make fucking Chibi. I'll put victim on Chibi's cam the entire fucking time. The other thing was like, Chibi, some of your stuff, and I know that if you guys watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre video, like the problem is like some of Chibi's stuff, she was like not moving half the time because she was scared, and I was like, dude, I couldn't use her stuff.
I was scared.
And also,
you guys knew what you were doing. I was lost.
And also, I did not. When she died in that final clip you guys saw, that was totally my fault because I was not paying attention to what she was saying.
He was like, yeah.
I was trying to lockpick us to freedom, me and Jack, and she was like, should I jump down the wall? And I was like, sure. I was like,
he literally was just like, yeah. If he would have told me no, I could have stayed outside and then gotten free.
I was just like clicking through it. I was like, yeah, sure. And I fucked up when I told her to go left when I meant I meant to say left way before that. You like went out the door. I was like, well, she's fucking done.
I was like, I don't know where to go.
I
was very confused. It was okay. It was great.
Anyway, this episode is going to go live on Friday. We thank you guys for your continual support. Brad was on cam for some reason. Don't know why. But appreciate that. We want to thank everyone for watching, and we will talk to you next time. Bye, everybody.